Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the CSTV. I'm your host, Kathleen, a girl Toto, Madam CS, and this is the Striker. Stay tuned and have it true. And really, in the Striker today, we are looking at Kenya's top stories. And story number one, Kalonzo Musyoka and Rigathi Gachagua are really giving President Ruto headache until he can't avoid actually talking about them, even in the political rallies. A good example while he was addressing the people at Taita Taveta. Story number two is actually the National Council of Churches has joined other church, leaders, just like the Catholic bishops, the Anglicans, etc., to condemn the leadership in the country, and actually they have said the country is in hali maututi, like literally the country is in ICU, and they have called upon their congregations and the Christians in the country to recall bad leaders. I don't know what's going on. I don't know whether this is the end of Ruto with the church, etc. But that is the stand of the National Council of Churches. And remember, the National Council of Churches is constituted of leadership from all the various churches in Kenya. And story number three is about Junet Mohammed and Hassan Joho actually mutilating democracy and the right to public participation by the citizens of Kenya. Today, Junet Mohammed and Joho actually were questioning why we should be doing public participation. If the government wants to do anything, it should just go ahead without consulting or listening to the judiciary or another person. And then we see Joho saying that actually people who are writing in the internet is literally against the freedom of speech and the freedom of expression, and is saying wataendea hao watu. So from where I stand actually, and I'm like, okay, what is happening? So we need to dive into these stories, but from where I stand, I just feel like, whoever is giving President Ruto the platform should be able to tell him on what to say and not what to say, because these rallies are doing him more harm than good. But before we dive into this particular story, kindly, if you are new to this particular channel, subscribe, welcome home, jisikie nyumbani, like, share, and comment on our videos. If you are a returning subscriber, kindly remember to like, share, and comment on our videos. Turn on the notification bell so that the next time we are uploading a video, YouTube will automatically notify you. Now, one day ago, Rigathi Gachagua did a public interview. He had a media briefing, did a public interview, condemned what he wanted to condemn in the Kenya Kwanza government, said what he wanted to say, and actually, from what Rigathi Gachagua was talking, actually, this man does not fear Ruto at all. One could have expected that after being impeached, after his security was withdrawn, after the attack in Rimuru, Rigathi Gachagua was not going actually to come to the public space again to talk against the government. But it is like every negative move the government does on Rigathi Gachagua, actually, it is giving him more reasons and more energy to come to the public, address the public, dismantle Ruto, and even dismantle the MPs, the senators, and the governors who participated actually and who supported his impeachment. So you realize that actually Rigathi Gachagua, from where he stands, is giving Ruto a lot of headache. Another person who is giving President Ruto headache is Kalonzo Musyoka. Whatever the government does, Kalonzo Musyoka now is like the official opposition of this particular government. With Baba going to bed with the Kenya Kwanza government, and the ODM actually now being the best drum beaters for the Ruto presidency and the whatever the Kenya Kwanza government is doing, it's like Kalonzo Musyoka and Eugene Wamalwa are the official opposition people that we have in this particular country. And Ruto is not actually happy with these two people. That is Kalonzo Musyoka and Rigathi Gachagua. Why? Kalonzo Musyoka is always opposing what the government is doing. He's the one calling press conferences, opposing government moves, criticizing Ruto's decisions, etc. And this criticism actually is contributing towards the depopularity of President Ruto. The dismantling of Kenya Kwanza government, the mountain, by Rigathi Gachagua, and also the pressures that Rigathi Gachagua is doing actually, are also doing President Ruto more harm than good. And these people are giving Ruto some headache. And today he was in Taita Taveta, and he was telling the people of Taita Taveta that actually kuna watu wawili, there are two people who are giving Ruto stress. And what he said is that he has gone to report them to the people of Taita Taveta so that wampatie nafasi afanye kazi polepole, wakuje polepole. Unfortunately, the people of Taita Taveta seemed to agree with Kalonzo Musyoka and Rigathi Gachagua. Actually, walimwambia hapana. You know, and they said, Sarah Ale, I thought nimekuja kuwaripoti kwenyu. But the people are very categorical. Those stories of yours we don't want to buy. You know, that is also a very, very big blow to President Ruto. He was in a public rally. He thought like maybe he could get the support. People could even say, well, wakwache ufanye kazi, you know, just even to make him happy. But unfortunately, they told him hapana. And we're talking about the coastal part of region, where actually we have the likes of Joho, who have been given the position of the CS in this government. And we expected that Joho could have done something on the ground to make sure that when President Ruto comes, the reception is quite well, and whatever is going to say, it's going to be welcomed positively. But as it is, the way the people of Taita Taveta actually joined many others, like the students of multimedia, the people of Embu, the people of Murang'a, it is very clear that the people of Kenya don't want to buy promises and stories. That takes me to story number 3. The National Council of Churches has said that the country is in hari maututi. If I have to translate it to English actually, and to use the simplest term possible, the country is in ICU. It's on its deathbed, and something has to be done. Literally what the church is telling us, you know what, we are not supporting this government. And they are very categorical that we have a government that is full of lies and kept promises, you know, making the economy hard for the common citizen, things that are not working. And even they told their Christians and their followers that they should protest against the implementation of SHA, and they should recall any leader who is actually promoting the wrongdoings that this particular government is doing. You know, the other day when the Catholic bishops spoke about this, Ruto took it personal simply because maybe he's not a Catholic, and they felt like the Catholic Church was attacking him more than it has attacked the previous regimes, because somebody like Uhuru Kenyatta and President Kibaki were Catholics. And actually, if you were very careful, you could see a section of Kenyans saying that the Catholic Church was attacking Ruto because he was not a Catholic. But before long, the Anglican Church enters there, and the African English Church and the AIC also entered the road. You know, all of us are against the bad governance. You understand? They came actually to support the Catholic Church and saying whatever the Catholic bishop said was true. Now, at the turn of event and the climax of it all, it's when we have the National Council of Churches, meaning all leaders representing all the churches that we have in this country, saying that the country is on ICU. And they are calling upon their followers to recall bad leaders. What do they tell us? What are they telling us? That in 2027, let us not vote in President Ruto. When they are talking about unkept promises, actually they are not talking about anybody else. They are talking about Ruto. He promised a lot and is not delivered. So this one is telling us that religion and politics in Kenya are inseparable. But at this particular time, there's a very big divorce between Ruto and the church. You know, this is the only place that he's been using as the platform. The other day, we heard him saying he will give Sadaka whether they like it or not. But I wonder, even if he's going to force to give this Sadaka, Pastor Kiniambia, don't vote for somebody. Do they know actually the power? The pastors, the bishops, the fathers, the deacons, you know, all these church leaders that we have, the evangelists, the power they have when it comes to influencing their congregation. I thought they should know. What do you think? if the church goes against President Ruto, do you think that he can win elections in this particular country? And then stall number 4, Junet Mohammed and Joho have emerged as one of the supporters of President Ruto. You know, when he was actually swearing in his deputy president, President Ruto said that he felt lonely. Why did he feel lonely? That he had people who were not talking about the good things that the Kenya Kwanza government is doing. It's like he found those people. The first person is Junet Mohammed and the second person is Joho. But you know, it is so surprising sorry, that these 2 people, that is Junet and Joho, before ODM crossed over to join the government, they were the ones actually were telling Ruto is a nobody, he has no right to address anybody, who does he think he is, he should not even address them, etc. But now they are the same people are supporting Ruto, supporting the Adani, supporting, you know, all these projects that the government is doing. But to make matters worse, they have started to mutilate democracy and the right of expression and speech in this country. When Junet Mohammed says that the government does not need actually to do out public participation, to listen to the judiciary or another arm of government or any other civil organization to pass an act or to do or to implement any policy in this particular country, what he's trying to tell us is that President Ruto become a dictator and don't consult anybody. That is mutilation of democracy. And from where I think actually I sit, I am even asking myself, what if Baba won? Remember, ODM is just a foreigner in the UDA or in the Kenya Kwanza government. But they have entered, they have not full sat, but they have started mutilating democracy. Joho is actually threatening the people who are typing in the internet. The freedom of expression is in speech, and speech in this particular country now seems to be limited, courtesy of Joho and Junet Mohammed. And I'm asking myself, what if Baba became the president? Like ODM is in the government. What could have happened to this particular country? Could these 2 people actually, or could the members of ODM, you know, actually support democracy in this particular country? You know, we say Baba is a supporter of democracy, is a fighter of democracy. But look at what the children of Baba are doing. They are here seriously mutilating democracy and public participation in this particular country. What is your opinion? What do you think? You know, from where I stand, I think these parasas and these rallies Ruto is actually holding, he should stop them. They are doing him more harm than good. You know, they are contributing to his depopularity. And the people he carries are wrong. The likes of Junet, the likes of Joho, these people are doing him more harm than good. And come 2027, when they realize maybe they have destroyed him, they may betray him and run away. My opinion though, what is your opinion? Kindly remember to comment on the comment section below, like, share, and tell us the next theme that you want us to address. Otherwise, it is a bye from me. Bye-bye.